My beloved child, tonight I speak in a whisper that refuses to fade, a whisper you felt when the room went quiet and your heart suddenly grew heavy without a reason. You paused. You looked around. You thought of her. Do not turn away from that feeling, because it did not come to scare you, it came to reach you. Your mother's love never learned the meaning of distance, and love does not break when breath stops. It changes its way of arriving. There have been signs placed gently in your days, small and easy to miss, yet timed so perfectly that coincidence has no place to stand. A song that played when you needed strength. A smell that appeared and vanished like a memory walking past you. A dream that felt more real than waking life. You told yourself it was imagination, because believing felt dangerous. But tonight, you are here for a reason, and that reason is not random. There is something she has been trying to tell you, something she has waited to say until you were strong enough to hear it. This is not about fear. This is about protection. This is not about loss. This is about a truth that has been circling your life, waiting for this exact moment to land. Listen carefully now, because what you are about to hear connects the silence you feel to the unanswered questions you carry. Your mother sees the path you are walking, the choices you are struggling with, and the weight you hide behind a brave face. She knows about the nights you stay awake thinking about what went wrong and what still feels unfinished. She knows the name you never say out loud because it hurts too much. There is a reason your thoughts keep returning to the same memory, the same moment, the same person, the same fear. It is not to reopen wounds. It is to reveal a hidden door. Your mother is not calling you back into the past. She is pointing you forward, toward something that was promised long before you realized you needed it. The secret she wants you to know is not small, and it is not simple. It is something that explains why certain things did not work out, why certain people left, and why certain opportunities slipped away at the last second. What you thought was loss was actually delay. What you thought was rejection was redirection. And what you thought was silence was preparation. There is a moment coming very soon when you will be forced to choose, even if you try to avoid it. This choice will not announce itself loudly. It will arrive disguised as an ordinary day, an ordinary conversation, an ordinary decision. But your mother already knows how high the stakes are, and that is why her presence has been pressing closer to your awareness. She remembers a promise made over you, one that was never broken, only postponed. You were never meant to settle for the life that drains you quietly. You were never meant to carry guilt that was not yours. There is something being kept from you, not by the world, but by timing. And timing has now shifted. The secret she is trying to pass to you is about a protection placed around you when you were too young to understand danger. A protection that has saved you more times than you realize. Think back. How many times did things almost go wrong but somehow did not? How many times did you change plans at the last second and later realize what you avoided? Those were not accidents. Those were hands guiding you away from a future that was never meant to hurt you. Your mother's message carries urgency, not because something bad is about to happen, but because something important is about to open. There is a truth connected to your name, your birth, and a decision made quietly on your behalf, out of love so deep it still echoes. This truth has the power to change how you see yourself, how you trust your instincts, and how you move forward from this moment on. You have been doubting your inner voice lately, wondering why you feel pulled in one direction while logic pushes you another way. That pull is not weakness. It is memory. It is guidance. It is her reminding you of who you were before the world taught you to be afraid. The secret is not meant to overwhelm you. It is meant to steady you. Once you understand it, certain fears will lose their grip, and certain people will lose their influence. You will realize why you were protected from some relationships and pushed toward solitude at times when you begged for company. Solitude was not punishment. It was shelter. Now stay with me, because this is where many people look away, and this is where everything starts to make sense. Your mother is not asking you to chase signs or live in the past. She is asking you to remember one thing you promised yourself long ago, a promise you buried under responsibility, expectation, and survival. The secret she wants to tell you is tied to that promise, and once you hear it fully, you will not be able to unsee the pattern of your life. You will understand why certain doors closed loudly, why others never opened at all, and why one door, the most important one, has remained untouched, waiting only for your courage. This is only the beginning. What comes next will explain the dreams you cannot forget, the fear you cannot name, and the strength you did not know you still carry. Stay here. Do not rush. Because the next part reveals what that secret truly is, and why it changes everything. Listen to this truth with a steady heart, because what comes now is the reason her voice has followed you through silence. There was a moment in your life, long before you understood consequences, when a path split quietly in front of you. One road carried comfort but led to slow emptiness. The other carried uncertainty but held your real destiny. You did not choose that moment consciously, yet something chose for you. Your mother knew, even then, that your life would demand strength that could not be taught, only awakened. That is why she guarded a secret, not to hide it forever, but to release it when the time was right. She knew there would come a phase when you would feel lost, disconnected, questioning your own worth. That phase is not a mistake. It is the signal. It is the alarm that tells her you are ready. Everything you have been feeling lately, the restlessness, the emotional weight, the strange sense that something big is about to shift, is proof that the door she protected is now within your reach. Here is what she wants you to understand. You were never abandoned. You were prepared. There are people who come into this world to live quietly, and there are people who come to change the emotional direction of others. You belong to the second kind. Your sensitivity, the thing that made life feel heavy at times, was never a weakness. It was the mark of someone meant to carry understanding where others carry judgment. Your mother saw this early. She saw how deeply you felt, how strongly you loved, how easily you absorbed pain that was not yours. She knew that if you walked blindly into certain environments, your spirit would slowly dim. So she made a silent request over your life, a request that altered timing, removed people, delayed outcomes, and forced endings that broke your heart. You thought life was being unfair. You thought you were failing. But what was really happening was protection in motion. The secret is this. Some of your biggest heartbreaks were never meant to turn into permanence. They were meant to redirect you before your kindness was consumed. Think about the patterns you could never explain. The opportunities that almost worked but collapsed at the last moment. The relationships that felt intense but unstable. The repeated feeling of being close to something meaningful, only to have it slip away. This was not bad luck. This was design. Your mother understood that if everything worked out too easily, you would stay where you were comfortable, not where you were meant to grow. She understood that your soul required depth, not surface happiness. That is why your life unfolded in layers, not straight lines. The secret she wants you to know now is connected to an upcoming decision that will test whether you still believe you are small, or whether you finally accept that you are guided. Soon, you will be presented with something that looks familiar, something that feels like a second chance or a safe return. But beneath it lies a repetition of old pain. This is where her warning becomes crucial. Not every familiar door leads to peace. Some lead back to lessons you have already survived. There is also something else she needs you to hear, something that may shock you at first, but will later bring relief. The emptiness you sometimes feel is not because something is missing. It is because something is waiting. You have been living in preparation mode without realizing it. Skills you developed through struggle, patience you learned through waiting, emotional intelligence you gained through loss, all of it was shaping you for a role you have not fully stepped into yet. Your mother sees this role clearly. It involves guiding others, influencing decisions, and standing as emotional shelter for people who will one day depend on your strength. That is why your life demanded maturity earlier than others. That is why you often felt older than your age. The secret is not about inheritance, hidden words, or unfinished business. It is about responsibility. A responsibility your soul agreed to long before you understood the cost. And now, the time is coming when this responsibility will no longer be optional. It will call you forward. Do not be afraid of what is unfolding. Fear is only present when understanding has not arrived yet. Your mother's presence is not meant to pull you into grief. It is meant to anchor you during transition. Very soon, you will notice clarity replacing confusion. Certain thoughts will stop looping. Certain emotional attachments will loosen without effort. And one truth will rise above the noise. You were never late. You were never forgotten. You were being positioned. The next part will reveal the exact moment when this secret begins to activate in your real life, and how one small choice you make soon will decide whether the protection continues or transforms into purpose. Stay with this message. Because what is coming next explains why you are feeling watched over right now, and why turning away at this stage would mean missing what you were protected for all along. There is a specific moment approaching that your mother has been watching closely, a moment so subtle that most people would overlook it, yet so powerful that it will quietly separate your past from your future. This moment will not feel dramatic at first. It will feel ordinary. That is why it matters. You will be presented with a choice that seems small, almost harmless, something you could easily delay or ignore. But your mother knows that this choice is the key she has been guarding all along. It is connected to a habit you keep returning to, a pattern you recognize but have never fully broken. She is not angry about it. She understands why you held on. But now she is urging you to see it clearly. This choice will test whether you still doubt your inner voice or finally trust it without asking for permission. When that moment arrives, you may feel a sudden tightness in your chest or an unexplainable calm. That reaction will be your confirmation. Your mother will not speak in words then. She will speak through certainty. You must understand something deeply now. The protection around you was never meant to last forever in the same form. Protection evolves when the protected becomes strong enough to stand. That is what is happening to you. For a long time, life removed things for you. Soon, life will begin placing things in your hands. And this transition requires awareness. Your mother sees how close you are to stepping into a cycle that repeats old exhaustion under a new name. She also sees the alternative, a path that demands courage but offers peace. The secret she has been guiding you toward is this. You are allowed to outgrow survival. You are allowed to want more than stability. You are allowed to choose fulfillment without guilt. Many of your fears are not warnings. They are echoes from a time when you had less control. Those echoes no longer define your present. Your mother's message is not to rush, but to recognize. Recognition is power. There is a reason certain memories have been resurfacing lately, not the happy ones, but the unresolved ones. Moments when you felt unseen. Conversations that ended without closure. Decisions you made while doubting yourself. These memories are not returning to hurt you. They are returning to be released. Your mother knows that clarity cannot enter a crowded emotional space. That is why you are being asked to let go, not dramatically, but honestly. Admit what drained you. Admit what you tolerated out of fear of loneliness. Admit what you wanted but convinced yourself was unrealistic. This honesty is the doorway. Once you step through it, something shifts internally. You stop chasing validation. You stop explaining yourself to people who benefit from misunderstanding you. And you start noticing how light your body feels when you choose alignment over approval. This is the inner change your mother has been waiting for. Now hear this carefully, because this is where the secret becomes practical. There is someone around you, or about to enter your life, who will mirror your old wounds while pretending to offer comfort. This is not punishment. This is a test of awareness. Your mother sees the entire pattern, not just the intention. She knows how convincing familiarity can be. She knows how easily old dynamics can disguise themselves as opportunity. Her message is not to distrust everyone, but to trust yourself more. If something requires you to shrink, silence yourself, or justify emotional discomfort, it is not aligned, no matter how appealing it looks. The protection you felt before came from external blocks. The protection you are receiving now comes from insight. This is growth. This is the moment where guidance becomes internal. Finally, understand this. Your mother's connection to you has not weakened with time. It has refined itself. She does not need to interfere anymore because you are becoming the decision-maker she always knew you could be. The secret was never about what she left behind. It was about what she left within you. Strength, discernment, emotional intelligence, and an unbreakable sense of direction when you stop doubting it. In the next part, everything converges. The choice, the timing, the truth you have been circling, and the reason this message reached you now. What comes next will show you how to move forward without fear, and how honoring this guidance changes the outcome of what is about to unfold in your life. Stay present, because the final clarity is closer than you think. There is a silence before transformation that feels heavier than noise, and you are standing inside that silence right now. This is the pause your mother spoke about, the pause that comes just before truth becomes visible. You may feel unusually reflective, pulled inward, noticing details you once ignored. This is not weakness. This is awareness sharpening itself. The secret she has been guiding you toward is beginning to surface, not as a dramatic revelation, but as a steady knowing that settles deep in your chest. You are starting to sense which thoughts are truly yours and which were planted by fear, pressure, or old expectations. That distinction is powerful. It is the moment when confusion starts losing its authority over you. Your mother's presence feels closer now because the noise inside you is finally lowering, and clarity always arrives quietly. What she wants you to recognize at this stage is the difference between urgency and alignment. Urgency pushes. Alignment pulls. Many of your past decisions were made under urgency, the need to fix, to prove, to hold things together. That chapter is closing. The secret is that you no longer need to rush to be worthy of good outcomes. What is meant for you will not require emotional bargaining. You will notice this shift soon. Conversations will feel cleaner. Choices will feel simpler. Even when a decision is difficult, it will not feel chaotic. This is the sign your mother promised you. When alignment replaces urgency, your life stops feeling like a series of reactions and starts feeling like direction. This is not luck. This is readiness meeting timing. There is also a release happening that you may not have fully acknowledged yet. An old identity, one built around endurance and compromise, is loosening its grip. You carried that identity because it kept you safe when you had no other option. Your mother knows how hard you tried, how often you chose peace for others over truth for yourself. She honors that version of you. But she also knows that staying there now would slowly disconnect you from your purpose. The secret she guarded was not meant to trap you in gratitude for survival. It was meant to free you for expansion. You are allowed to step into a life that feels lighter without apologizing. You are allowed to receive without earning through suffering. This permission is part of the message reaching you now. Pay attention in the coming days to what no longer fits, even if it once felt important. Interests may change. Emotional attachments may soften. Certain conversations may suddenly feel unnecessary. This is not loss. This is recalibration. Your mother is guiding you to simplify so that what truly matters can stand out clearly. The secret unfolds here. When you stop feeding what drains you, your energy naturally moves toward what grows you. This shift may surprise people around you, but it will feel natural to you. You will notice confidence returning, not as loud certainty, but as calm steadiness. That steadiness is the foundation of what comes next. Now understand this final truth for this part. Your mother's message was never meant to keep you looking upward or backward. It was meant to bring you fully into the present moment, where your power actually exists. The protection you felt before was external. The guidance you feel now is internal. This is the handoff she prepared for. In the next part, the secret completes itself. You will see how one upcoming interaction, one decision, and one moment of honesty with yourself activates everything she has been guiding you toward. Stay attentive. Because the final alignment is not symbolic. It is practical. And it is closer than you realize. There is one final layer to this message, and it is the one your mother waited the longest to deliver. It is not about warning you anymore. It is about confirming you. Very soon, you will face a moment where your old self would have hesitated, questioned, or asked others what to do. This time will be different. You will know. Not because someone convinces you, not because circumstances force you, but because your inner resistance will be gone. That absence of struggle is the signal. Your mother has been guiding you towards self-trust, because self-trust is the strongest form of protection. When this moment arrives, choosing yourself will feel natural, almost obvious. That is how you will recognize that the secret has completed its work inside you. What she wants you to understand now is this. You were never meant to chase reassurance. You were meant to become it. The doubts you carried were not flaws, they were the process of learning discernment. The pain you endured was not punishment, it was refinement. Every delay, every emotional test, every quiet redirection shaped you into someone who can see clearly even when emotions are strong. This is the inheritance she left you. Not something you can hold, but something you can use.